You are watching the NCAA Baseball Regionals presented by Capital One. Outside Bob Walker Stadium in Fayetteville, the Razorback fans, they were lined up for hours, ready for the main event. It's the regional final between the Big East champs, the Creighton Blue Jays, and the number 3 overall seed in the field, the Arkansas Razorbacks. And it's a rematch of Saturday's battle. A convincing statement 12-1 victory for the Hogs. Zach Root, their ace left-hander, was dominant. Struck out 7 in 6 scoreless innings. And then the Arkansas offense did the rest. This prolific lineup hit 5 homers, scored 12 runs. They were relentless. And it was a dominant 12-1 victory that launched the Hogs into this regional final. The stakes are simple. Double elimination format. Creighton has taken a loss. Had to beat North Dakota State earlier today in order just to play in this game. Arkansas, on the other hand, 1 win away from advancing to its first super regional in 3 years. And welcome upstairs, Bob Walker Stadium. That is the coach, Bobby Miranda, Kevin Fitzgerald with you. Fantastic season once again for these Hogs. 43 wins, second place finish in the SEC. Bobby, they're 1 win away, and they'll get 2 chances at it the next couple of days if they need to get back to the Supers.
Absolutely. Huge night tonight here in Fayetteville, Arkansas. 10,000 strong, be rooting them on to get to the next round.
Super home field advantage, and so they have certainly fueled the offense. Arkansas, known as one of the more prolific offenses in the nation. Bobby, they've now hit 6 homers in 2 games.
It was home run central here last night in Fayetteville, Arkansas, dropping bombs all over the yard. A program record 116 home runs currently as we speak.
That's top 5 in the nation right now. Aloy and Helfrich, they had 2 homer days yesterday in that dominant performance against these same Blue Jays. And it's been this trio of hitters in the heart of the Arkansas order that have really dominated. So Aloy, Kojal, and Helfrich, they've combined for 13 hits in these 2 games of the regional. So meanwhile for Creighton, they won earlier today in walk-off fashion against North Dakota State. It's already taken a loss in this tournament. What's at stake for the Blue Jays if they're trying to get to their first super regional ever?
It's very simple. A must-win scenario or go home. That's what's at stake tonight.
They've got to get it done in order to force the Game 7 tomorrow. First things first, regional final Game 1 coming up between Creighton and Arkansas. It's next in Fayetteville. Second game of the day for Ed Service's Blue Jays. They beat North Dakota State earlier to get to play in this game. This is his lineup card. Dakota Duffalo is now 5 for 8 in this regional. He's knocked in a couple of runs. And so Creighton faces the junior from Batesville, Arkansas. Bobby, the next level strikeout machine has been impressive this season.
Yeah, getting healthy finally here at the end of the season, rising up the draft boards. Big-time MLB prospect. Look for that modern extreme ride and carry fastball in the upper 90s. Power stuff here.
37 strikeouts in just a little more than 19 innings. It's from Batesville. It's about 4 hours east of Fayetteville, and away we go. Regional final in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Excellent evening. It's a warm night, big crowd, a couple of 40-plus win teams going at it. Tate Gillen has been at the top of the order all season for the Blue Jays. Redshirt junior has started every game at center.
Thought that was interesting, a first pitch breaking ball, trying to avoid that ambush home run that Gillen had last game.
Yeah, like earlier. That's in for a strike. 96 that time from Wood. 5th in the SEC in strikeout percentage. Former reliever turned, you nailed it, next level starter. 8th start of the season for the right-hander. And he gets Gillen looking at another fastball.
How about 96 on the gun? That heater had some fuzz on it right there.
Swing and miss stuff for the right-hander. It's been super effective, coming home with a 2-2. It's fouled back.
That's a real arm right there. 96 back-to-back fastballs. It's called a heater.
Wood coming home with a 2-2 again. And so Gillen does a nice job of fighting this one off. He has been productive at the top of the order. He's got 5 hits in Creighton's 3 games.
Really nice job, because that's his pitch. Up in the strike zone, look for that ride carry fastball. Just to foul that off, outstanding job.
So a good battle to get this one started. Off speed, tapped in behind the plate. And so this will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up.
It's the spike breaking ball. He'll spike his finger, get a little more spin, a little more depth on that pitch. There's a split. You see it right there for his changeup.
Falls in for a called 3rd strike. 1 away.
This is the backdoor spike breaking ball. Just clips the black buffer of the plate. Hard pitch to hit for a left-hand hitter.
It's now 136 strikeouts in his 90 innings of work. Turned in an all-freshman team season 2 years ago, entirely out of the bullpen. Last year wound up starting 3 games. And this season began the year as a weekend starter for Arkansas. This is Matt Sherman, the 6th-year senior from Illinois. Takes that one in tight.
And there's his cutter, if you want to know what that pitch was. That was a cutter, different from the last pitch that he threw, the curveball.
Really impressive arsenal for the righty. Sherman bounces that hard but foul. Starts 2 games back in February. In that second outing, wound up suffering an injury. It was a right shoulder impingement, and so Bobby was sidelined for nearly 2 months. And so his last 5 outings is slowly but surely being worked back to 100%. And looked really good his last few outings before the postseason.
To your point, missed 8 weeks due to injury. And the 21st overall prospect of McKaylee Daniel.
Coming home with another 2-2. Swing and a miss. 97 that time. 2 away.
Well located heat down and away from a right-handed hitter. Extremely difficult to hit. Located at any speed, especially at 97 out there. Big time fastball.
Arkansas pitchers, they struck out 10 Blue Jays yesterday in that 12-1 win. Nolan Sailors, he is the premier hitter in this order for Creighton. Senior from Omaha, went to high school maybe 15 minutes from campus. He has been very effective this weekend. You see the average close to 400.
Been very impressed with his game, his approach at the plate, his power, the ability to hit gap to gap, extra base hits.
Yeah, all 5 of those hits, extra base hits. So he's been lethal. Waits on that breaking pitch, and he bounces it through the left side. So he's got his 6th hit, and that's actually his first single. It's a 1-out base, make it a 2-out base runner.
Might as well throw a single in there.
Well, he could have used it a couple of nights ago. He finished a single shy of the cycle in their opener.
It's a breaking ball. He just lets it get backside deep, stays on top, and punches it in the 6 hole. Very accomplished skill set. Bat to ball skills.
Yeah, Ed Service and the staff, they light up anytime they talk about Sailors. True senior, 4 years with the program. So Teddy Dieters, who's moved up to the cleanup slot, bats here with 2 out. Dieters hit a home run earlier today, a pretty pivotal one in an 11-10 elimination game victory over North Dakota State. What a wild one that was earlier. That's in for a strike.
Creighton likes to run. Sailors with 27 stolen bases on the season with 2 outs.
Yeah, just further shows how this all-conference phenom, just how dynamic he is. Dieters takes a mighty cut, comes up empty. He's got to protect now with 2 strikes.
And Wood living at 97 away from the right-hand hitters.
One, 2. That's a little low and away.
And remember, with his fastball, the metrics show its extreme ride and carry, which makes it even harder to hit. It's not just the velo, it's the spin of the ball. He spins it so well, it's tough to center.
Runner on the move, that's fouled back. So again, 97 that time from Gage Wood. You saw it just a couple of moments ago when we flashed it up. He has certainly skyrocketed up the projected draft boards based on that swing and miss stuff. Struck out the first 2, then gave up the opposite field single to Sailors. This one is hit hard out to the gap in right center. Justin Thomas gives way to Maxwell. Inning is over. Creighton gets a man on, but that's it. Good start for Wood in the regional final. Arkansas's offense has been one of the best in America all season long. Yesterday they hit 5 homers in the statement win against these Blue Jays, and Ryder Helfrich went yard twice. So that is Dave Van Horn's lineup card today. And Bobby, look at what Ed Service does in a all-or-nothing winner-go-home game. He brings his closer back out, who closed out the 11-10 winner earlier today, and he throws him out there his first career start.
Yeah, low 3/4 arm slot has power bowling ball horizontal movement, which means it's moving into a righty, away from a lefty, and a 45% whiff rate with that slider. Very, very tough on right-handed hitters.
Really, really impressive. Earlier today, Garrett Langrel, he faced 3 hitters at the top of the 9th inning. Struck them all out, threw 15 pitches, so ideally, if he can go 3 innings, that's great news. This is Creighton's 4th game in 3 days.
A little bullpen in the first game.
Why not?
A little 15-pitch side.
Charles Davalon, that's the sophomore from Montreal, leads off against the 6'7" right-hander from outside of Tampa. That first pitch is in for a strike. By the way, it's Jason Bradley, our home plate umpire. Jason Harstick over at first. Ken Fitz is the second base umpire. Travis Carlson at third. Great numbers for Davalon this year. Turned in an all-conference season. Waits on that, pulls it foul. Spent last season at Florida Gulf Coast, then hit the transfer portal and has thrived in that leadoff role in Fayetteville. That run's a little tight. Langrel, Bobby, he has been the lockdown closer. You see 13 saves this season, top 10 in America.
Yeah, he has really good stuff. The only issue at times has been left-handed hitters. Hitting over 300 against the right-hander. Dominates righties. Top 13% in every category metrically against righties. But left-handers hitting 306.
Yeah, right there, Bobby. 2-2 pitch on the way to Davallon. Called third strike, one away. So he gets Davallon looking at that one right on the inside corner.
He got a couple hitters out in the first game, and now he's going to another left. He's throwing a changeup in and coming back. And it freezes Davallon. Looks like it's going to hit him. Look at that. Buckles, jelly leg. It's almost like a left-handed slider coming at you and going back to the plate.
So Langrel has faced 4 hitters. He has struck all of them out. So this should be an exciting battle. Vahiva Aloy, the SEC Player of the Year, and he has been one of the phenoms in the Southeastern Conference. 2-year starter, the Hawaiian from Wailuku. That's north side of Maui. Now 20 homers on the season after 2 yesterday. He foul tips that one, so the count's quickly 0-2.
Tomahawking balls all over the place last night.
Look at this one.
Up in the zone. Got the barrel above the baseball and hit a laser beam, and then did it again on a pitch up in the zone. Those balls are at his letters, at his chest.
Yeah, almost eye level on that first one. He's got to protect with 2 strikes. Langrel just off the outside edge. Aloy was very impressive in his debut season in Fayetteville last year. Was effective this year, took his game to another level. Swings, loops it, no chance for Sherman. And it's a 1-out base hit for the Hogs in the first.
This ball had 17 inches of horizontal movement. Aloy gets jammed. Just makes his way to the outfield with the grass. That ball's up too. Look at that. All those balls that he's hitting are almost at his chest in the last 2 nights.
Next level player,
I would say.
Yeah.
A high first rounder.
Yep. Logan Maxwell, here's the senior from Ohio, was 2 for 5 yesterday against Creighton.
Yeah, Aloy is going to get paid in the middle of the summer. He will get paid.
There are a number of next-level players on this Arkansas roster. It's a main reason why, for most of this season, they've been looked at as a team that could very much get all the way to Omaha. Maxwell, a little late on that one. Bobby, they were quite simply one of the best teams in the nation all year. Remember, at one point, they rose to #1 in the nation in a number of national polls. And they are a national seed once again. They are making regularity out of that. 1-1. Just off the outside edge. Close, but now the count's 2 balls and a strike. It very much feels like it's a balanced and well-rounded offense.
They can beat you in many different ways. We even saw a push bunt 2 nights ago.
Swing, that one is lifted. There's some carry to it. Sailors climb on the wall. Goodbye. .11 homers for Maxwell, 2-0 Hogs.
I was shocked that this went out. Only 93 off the barrel, but carried 338 feet for the program record 117th bomb and growing to the backside.
First pitch to Ryder Helfrich. That's at the letters for a strike.
Ball's going to jump out of here tonight, I'll tell you that. Only 93, less than 100 miles an hour, and it goes out.
They had to add a third column there not long ago to that home run tracker that keeps going up and up and up and up. Program record. So now the sophomore from Discovery Bay, California, that's not far from Sacramento, has turned in his breakout season behind the plate, the everyday catcher for the Hogs. Langrel has to find the way to bounce back. That time Helfrich did check the swing, so the counts ball into 2 strikes.
I've been so impressed with this young man, watching him live. Uber athletic behind the plate, can run, hand cannon for an arm, power with the bat. This guy's going to be a high pick next year. Only a sophomore.
Yeah, we saw him steal a base a couple of days ago in that opener against North Dakota State. That is no surprise at all. Dave Van Horn certainly lauds his abilities. Takes that a little low, and so now he has worked the count full. 117 home runs this season for Arkansas. They continue to just smash the record here.
Smash is a good word for it, too.
Yeah, no pun intended. 2+ decades now in Fayetteville as the head coach, Dave Van Horn. More than 1,500 wins in his career. He guided Arkansas to the precipice 7 years ago. National runner-ups. And did they have the team this year to maybe break through and win the program's first ever national championship? First things first, got to get to the Super Regionals. And that's what's at stake tonight. Payoff. That's ball 4.
Watch this home run hit the backside. 2-seam fastball down and away. And Maxwell stays on it to the backside with backspin. And it makes it to the bullpen. Impressive swing. And jump starts the Razorbacks here in the first.
It certainly does. And you see Maxwell's reaction. He was waiting there with bated breath, as they say. And they're going to call the Hogs in the first inning. $10,000+ night in and night out at Bob Walker Stadium. One of the better ballparks and one of the better home field advantages, not just in the SEC, but across the nation. They tied the program record, by the way, yesterday with their 34th home win.
They do everything first class here. This is a beautiful place, well-run machine, gorgeous town, great fan base.
Like you said, the offense has jump-started things here. They get the 2-0 advantage. Runner on at first now. Cam Kojal, a red-hot bat in the middle of the order. 5 of 9 at the plate this weekend. 2 doubles, 2 homers. He's knocked in 6 runs.
4 of those extra base hits. He is impressive from the left side.
He's just simply put one of the best hitters in the league, landed on the all-conference team. So he is an Omaha native. He grew up not too far from the Creighton campus. Oh, 2 though. That misses low and away. Langro coming home. Bouncer, hard hit, maybe two. Hess to second for one, on to first, inning over. Arkansas strikes first. Logan Maxwell goes yard, it's 2-0. Been before in the 12 prior appearances in this tournament for Creighton. They win a game in walk-off fashion. Kyle Hess, the bouncing ball that goes over the first baseman's head down the right field line with Connor Capisi at third base, drove him in, game-winning run, and the Blue Jays walk off North Dakota State 11-10. And so Ed Service is hoping some of that offense carries over to this one. They scored 11, remember, in the opening round win against Kansas, held to just one run against Arkansas last night. Zach Root was fantastic. And 11 runs earlier against the 4 seed. Will McLean, big hitter, had a home run earlier this weekend, takes a mighty cut at that first Gage Wood offering, comes up empty. 5, 6, and 7 here for Creighton in the second, just getting started in this first of maybe 2 regional finals. And Gage Wood quickly ahead 0-2.
That was a great baseball game earlier today.
Yeah.
Coach Service wanting some of that magic again in this game tonight against the Razorbacks.
So welcome to Bob Walker Stadium, Fayetteville Regional, with Bobby Miranda, Kevin Fitzgerald with you. Regional final in Fayetteville tonight. The number 3 national seed of the field, that's the Arkansas Razorbacks. They have the upper hand. They won their first 2 games in this double elimination regional round, including a win yesterday against these Blue Jays. And today, the first of what Creighton would love to be 2 regional final games. If Arkansas wins this one, it advances to its first super regional in 3 years. Creighton, meanwhile, on the other hand, Bobby, has to win tonight and has to win tomorrow in order to break through to their first super regional since we went to this formatting in 1999. So there is the outgoing coaching icon in Omaha. Ed Service, the Wisconsin native, announced his retirement at the end of last season. One last ride. His Blue Jays won the Big East, punched their ticket to this tournament. Bobby, they beat North Dakota State earlier today, a game that went final about 3 hours ago. They had to win that one to play in the regional final, and so they begin the climb where you have to win, for starters, twice in one day just to force that game 7. Bobby, it's Gage Wood on the mound for Arkansas. 8th start of the year. He's looked good. He's got 2 outs here in the top of the second. His team has the 2-0 lead.
Yeah, one of the premier right-handers in the nation. Elite stuff, up to 97 already tonight. Power breaking ball. One of the best to do it.
Well, he just
in the
retired.
SEC.
Yeah, without a doubt. Swing and miss stuff, low walk rate. He's recorded the first 2 outs in this inning. This is the number 7 hitter in the Blue Jays order, Connor Capisi. Hits that one in the air down the line. Maxwell giving it a look. That's a few rows up into the seats. So 2 strikes on Capisi. More than 10,000 at Bob Walker Stadium, which is that's just your average night at one of the better parks around the SEC. The support has been fantastic here as Arkansas, just quite simply, they've been one of the best teams in the nation all year long. They are beginning what they would like to be a march to Omaha. 1-2. And that one got away from Wood, so the count evens.
And many believe the Razorbacks are primed and ready to win it all. Finally. All those trips to Omaha and finally break through and win it all in 2025.
Junior from Batesville, Arkansas delivers. Wave and a miss, strike 3. 4 punch-outs for Wood. A clean 10-pitch inning for the righty. Dave Van Horn, he's been the boss in Fayetteville for more than 2 decades, 900-plus wins. Remember, we didn't play that tournament in 2020, so he has guided Arkansas to 21 of the last 22. He's only missed it 1 time. They were so close in 2018, Bobby, national runner-ups. And they would love to get back to Omaha for the first time in 3 years. This is Kuhio Aloy, number 6 hitter in the Hog order. He bounces out to Ben North to begin this second. Garrett Langrel looking for a little better second start to the second inning. He gave up the 2-run homer in the first inning. And there are those trips. Van Horn, he has led this program to most of those trips to Omaha.
It's a lot of years of great success. Can they break through and win it all in 2025? Got to win this first game here to keep that road to Omaha moving forward.
And Arkansas's got the upper hand. Again, they've won both of their games on Friday and Saturday. Dave Van Horn, you'd see it right there. He was talking to us. We've had a lot of highs. We've had some lows here, some struggles in recent years in this tournament. It's a unique, perhaps dubious distinction there. Second most wins of any head coach in this tournament without winning a title. On one hand, yes, means you haven't won it. On the other hand, you're always in this tournament and you're always advancing deep. And it's something that cannot be overlooked here.
He likes his club this year. These guys want to play. They want to get after it in this tournament. He says that's important. You got to have to want to be here and want to go far in this tournament. You know, sometimes with the draft, the high draft picks, the elite players, a lot of noise gets in the way. These guys are not interested in that. They're interested in winning baseball games for Arkansas.
45-win season, won 20 league games. That pitch to Brent Iredale misses away, so a 1-out walk. Garrett Langrel, by the way, he is Creighton's lockdown closer. 13 saves this year, top 10 of the nation. However, today, Ed Service goes to him here to start this winner go home, everything on the line, regional final battle. He closed out the victory against NDSU earlier through 15 pitches in the 9th inning, struck out the side before they walked it off in the home half. So that's what got him here to this game. And Service goes right back to him. This is Reese Robinette. Takes that one away.
Robinette with 5 walks in 2 games of this regional.
Yeah. Well, he has excelled down the stretch of the season. He's now played in 13 in a row. Lets that one miss down and in. Only 44 at-bats coming into the tournament, but he has certainly been a factor. Final quarter of the season now and into the tournament. He's been over at first base. Takes that one for a strike. So Robinette is one of the He's in the minority here, one of a few returning Hogs that are in the starting lineup. There's a lot of first-year starters that have excelled in this Arkansas batting order this year. 2-1, and the Kennett, Missouri native takes that at the knees. The count evens.
Little backdoor sweeper right there, coming almost from the right-handed batter's box. The 6'7" righty, he looks like he's coming from left field. Just hooks around the back corner of the plate.
6'7". He's coming home. That is hit hard down the line and foul.
We talked about it earlier. Langrel is dominating right-handed hitters, dominating all year around the low 200s. And the left-handed hitters are hitting almost 300. So big differential in the splits, right versus left.
He's from Riverview, Florida. That's right outside of Tampa, maybe 20 minutes east. 2-2, runner on the move, swing, liner, that is off of Hess's mitt. He's got to chase it down in center. Iredale heads to third. Boy, what could have been there, on one hand, that could have ended the inning, was a potential double play situation with the runner on the move, and instead, Arkansas is set up to maybe cash in again.
Well, that's what happens when the ball's hit 108 miles per hour. May have gone right through the web of the leather right there. 108. Smoked. For sure double play if that ball's caught.
Oh, if it's caught, the inning's over.
Yes, instead.
Yes. Bobby looked at his his glove. He thought he had it.
Instead, we're first and third with one out.
This is the 9-hitter, Justin Thomas. Foul tips that one. So it's the second straight inning. Langrel records the first out, or retires the first batter, I should say, and then the next couple of hitters reach. Thomas, the Savannah, Georgia native, has been in center field this year for the Hogs. Great season last year at a junior college down in Florida. Hit the portal and has fit in nicely into this lineup. Squares and then pulls it back. That's on the outside corner for a strike.
And as mentioned, two left-handed hitters have smoked baseballs already in this game. One for a home run and one was a 108 mile per hour line drive.
Swing and a drive. There it goes, deep into the night. Gone! Party started early in Fayetteville.
Thomas says, let's have a right-hand hitter join the party at 105 off the barrel. Almost 400 feet, 399 into the hog pen.
The pen is riled up early. Charles Davalon, leadoff hitter, slow tapper over to Hess. He handles this one, 2 out. A homer in each of the first 2 innings now for the Hogs.
This ball is absolutely mushed into the hog pen. And that's a 3-run Jimmy Jack. Thomas knew it immediately when he hit it. 118 record-breaking home runs.
You can see they had to slap the 1 there on the left side once Arkansas reached triple digits not long ago.
They've got the clipboards up there.
Vahiva Aloy has one of those homers this weekend. Matter of fact, he's got 2. It's a 2-run blast. Boy, no wonder those hog pen seats are so coveted.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of souvenirs into that section this year. It's off the end of the bat. So Arkansas, boy, just relentless. Remember, yesterday they had a 4-0 lead over Creighton after 3. They've got a 5-0 advantage here. We're not yet done with the second. Justin Thomas, he's 1 home run away from hitting double digits. He would be the 7th different Razorback with 10 or more homers this season. It's basically everybody in the starting lineup.
It's a very talented team.
And that's your 9-hitter.
Power, yeah. 1 through 9.
Without a doubt. Aloy takes a big swing, comes up empty, inning is over. Thomas joins the home run party, 5-0 Hogs, done with 2. Battled against North Dakota State earlier today. A walk-off winner off the bat of Kyle Hess. He bounced that pitch from Danny Lockenmeyer over the head of the first baseman. That brought home Connor Capisi the game-winning run. And that's what vaulted Creighton to this regional final. Last 3 tournaments now for the Blue Jays. They have been in the regional final all 3 occasions. So Ed Service's team scores 11 runs on Friday against Kansas. They scored 11 earlier today against North Dakota State. And they were sweating that one out for a couple moments there. They had a 10-3 lead, lost it. It was 10-10 to the 9th before the Blue Jays and Kyle Hess got the job done. This is Dakota Duffalo leading off against Gage Wood.
That was an awesome game to watch. Back and forth battle.
Oh, yeah.
And a walk-off.
Yeah, major hat tip to the Summit champs, North Dakota State, but their season is over. Duffalo reaches and fouls that one back. And so that's what makes today so difficult for a team like Creighton. Remember, it lost its game yesterday against Arkansas. And so because of that, they had to play the elimination game earlier today. They have to win this one to force a Game 7. And then they would have to beat Arkansas again tomorrow to reach the Supers. So it's a difficult journey when you have to come back from the loser's side of the bracket.
Very difficult, especially in this atmosphere against an Arkansas team that can beat you in so many ways.
1-2 from Gage Wood.
Arkansas, a complete team on both sides of the baseball, defensively and offensively. Power arms, athletes running around the field making plays, and then power bats.
Wood, one of the aces of this pitching staff. And he gets Duffalo swinging through that one. So, Bobby, we're not yet one time through the order. He struck out 5 of the first 8 hitters.
That is a world-class ride carry fastball. 4-seamer just disappears up in the strike zone. Anything at the belt and up is near impossible to make contact with at 97. Look at the whiff percentage right there with the fastball, 44%. And all his stuff rates very, very well. But basically, half the time a hitter swings at his fastball, almost half the time, is a swing and a miss.
Coming up empty.
Yeah, that's world class.
This is his 8th start of the season. Here is the hero from the Game 1 earlier today, Kyle Hess. Takes that at the knees for a strike. Now he's only made 7 starts coming into this one. Missed 8 weeks of the season with an injury. But it's his swing and miss stuff and elite strikeout to walk rate that has certainly skyrocketed him up some draft projection.
Well, it's extreme metrics, too. I mean, these front offices nowadays are not just looking at a radar gun. They're looking at every metric they can find as far as the spin of the baseball, the location. I mean, his strikes, he throws strikes. He's 2.3 walks per 9. The standard's 3. I mean, he's an elite strike thrower with elite stuff. That's a deadly combination.
2-2 to Hess. Swing and a miss. 6 strikeouts, 1 time through the order. Wow.
How about a fastball at 96 on your hands? Near impossible to get the barrel to. Man. It's got some fuzz on it right there.
He was one of the top pitchers in the state of Arkansas coming out of high school a few years ago. Tate Gillen can't catch up to that one. As that great freshman season landed on the all-conference team. Last year wound up starting some games. And then this year, he's caught, he ain't no secret anymore, a projected first rounder according to our draft expert, Kylie McDaniel. And Bobby, it's 3 scoreless innings in a regional final. His team is going back to work with a 5-0 lead in Fayetteville.
Cause here I come, I wear it all on my sleeve, so everything you see shows you where I'm from.
Bolts back. The College World Series, it returns to Omaha June 13th. Less than 2 weeks away now. We're going to put a bow on this regional weekend tomorrow night. Super Regionals next weekend. And only 8 teams make it to Charles Schwab. So, bottom of the third, Arkansas has scored 5 runs in the first couple of innings. 3, 4, and 5 due up against Garrett Langrel, making his first start of his career. This is the excellent closer. Last time Maxwell faced him, look out.
Yeah, driven to the backside with back spin. And got out of here. Didn't hit all of it, and it still made it out of here, no problem.
That was a decent pitch there from Langrel. The 1-1 is rolled foul down the first base line.
Got to give Maxwell credit on his approach.
Yep.
Knowing the ball's going to run away from him, being a left-handed hitter, and then Langrel's arm slot, didn't try to pull it, drives it to the backside. Impressive.
Now 8 total homers this weekend for the Hogs, and Maxwell became the 4th different Razorback. Then Thomas went yard, and there's 1 out to begin the 3rd. So Arkansas has reached Omaha 11 times. Dave Van Horn has guided them there 7 times in his 23 years as the head coach. They last got there 3 seasons ago. It was a great run to the World Series semifinals. However, they are one of a handful of programs here with that many appearances that have not won a title. I think the conversation, a loud conversation, quite often at times earlier this year was, boy, this Arkansas team, they look like they can finally do it. First pitch to Ryder Helfrich is a little outside. If they can, why?
They are complete. Both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. And then to get to Omaha and win it all, you got to have a strong pitching staff. Not only starters, but you have to have right and left-handed starters. They have that. A deep pen, power on both sides of the ball. That's why. Power on both sides of the ball. This is a team that looks the part of a potential national champion.
Well, they've been one of the best teams in America for years. So you just saw that note. Winningest program in America since 2017. Helfrich, another one. A laser gets out of here. 6-zip.
That kid is very twitchy. That is a fast twitch athlete with tremendous bat speed. Coach Van Horn said he might be the most athletic catcher that he's ever coached in his career. A lot of thunder in that bat.
Flag bearers are getting a workout here in the early innings. That is the 3rd time Arkansas has gone yard, 3rd different player. It's a 3-homer weekend for Helfrich. This is just absurd, and now the flag finally. It takes a little effort there to get it up and down. This is Cam Kojal.
How about 6 for 9 with 3 home runs this weekend?
Well, I'll underscore something you just brought up because they asked Dave Van Horn about that postgame. Some of the reporters after that 12-1 win yesterday, he goes, look, Ryder Helfrich has elite bat speed.
No question. Very, like I said, twitchy, behind the plate, hand cannon, tremendous footwork behind the plate, receive, soft hands, power with the bat. What more do you want? If you're a professional scout next year, he's a first-round catcher.
Yeah. Sophomore from outside of Sacramento. So now a 2-1 to Kojal, and that one does catch it up for the inside edge for a strike. Last year, remember, Helfrich was behind Hudson White. Didn't start too many games, hit below 200. But this year, he has thrived. Has stepped up and delivered in this starting role. Kojal might have extra bases again. He rounds first hard. Nobody's covering second base. So Kojal gets in there. It's a stand-up double. Boy, they're hitting the ball hard here against Langrel now, these first couple of innings.
Check out this bomb right here. You can see how fast that ball gets into the stands.
How you like me now?
Yeah. 119, Fitzy, and counting.
Program record, it's 9. 9 homers this weekend. Yeah, you know, so they've hit 9 home runs. They've only allowed 3 runs in 2 1/3 games here. Here's Kuhio Aloy. So here's the younger brother of Vahiva. Transferred into the program after 1 season at BYU. Really impressive numbers. 13 homers. Again, he's one of many starters with double-digit home run totals. It's in the air down the line. It's fading towards the seats. Dieters running's out of room.
They went into that ball pretty hard right there.
Nice park to hit at. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a hitter's park.
This is hitter-friendly for sure. No question. Now, you got to have the athletes and the strength to get it there.
Yep.
But if you do get it up in the air with some bat speed and some strength, some proper technique, it'll go.
Well, Arkansas pouring it on early in a regional final game where all they have to do is win this one, and they're going to the Super Regionals after some dubious last couple of years in this regional round. Beautiful barehanded grab and the out at first.
Wow.
Ben North makes a nice play. That's the second out. Kojal gets to third. So that's an important out for Creighton. They don't want this to get too out of hand.
Premier defensive play right there, barehanded play. That ball had a lot of English. It's a jam job. Watch this, this is hopping. It's not on the ground. It's hopping, he barehands it. It's the only chance he had to make a play. If he uses his glove, Aloy is safe. Very athletic.
Yeah, that's excellent. This veteran Creighton team, they're obviously on the wrong end of the 6-0 score, and we got a pitching change. With a runner at third, Ed Service goes to the bullpen. Hat tip to Garrett Langrel. Going up here in the early innings against Creighton. A first-inning homer for Logan Maxwell set the tone. Then Justin Thomas, the number 9 hitter in the order, blasted one over the left field wall to put Arkansas ahead 5-zip. So Gage Wood lately has not needed that much run protection. Run support, I should say. He's had 6 strikeouts, 1 time through the order, Bobby, and has allowed just 1 hit.
That is next level stuff from Wood. I mean, elite stuff. The fastball is exploding tonight at 97. The breaking ball has a lot of depth. And then his location has been impeccable.
And the marsupials are locked in as well. So Garrett Langrel, he is out after 2 2/3 innings. Struck out a couple of hitters, gave up the 3 homers, battled. This is just such an elite offense that he was facing. Jimmy Burke, who pitched a scoreless inning, Bobby, on Friday night, the win against Kansas. He's back on the mound here with 2 outs, runner at third. And 1-0 pitch to Brent Iredale. That's the Aussie. Misses.
High fastball usage by Burke here. Short arm circle. Ball gets on you. Watch how he gets it to his ear and then lets it go. Quick arm.
Senior from Orland Park, Illinois. Second season in a Creighton uniform. He started at a junior college, was an All-American. Hit the portal, wound up at Creighton, and he hits Iredale.
That was a changeup, right on right. Kind of dropped his slot on that, had the different, longer arm circle. If you noticed that, his fastball was really short, went long arm circle, and the ball took off arm side. Completely different mechanics on that pitch.
Early innings of this regional final in Fayetteville. Arkansas, all it has to do is win today. It's going to the Supers. Reese Robinette drills it into center. Gillen dives, and he hangs on. He was shaded into left center, and he needed to be in order to make the catch there. So the inning does come to a close. Arkansas adds one more at 6-0. Welcome back to the NCAA Baseball Regionals. It's presented by Capital One. There's the old main building on the Arkansas campus. The Hogs have a 6-0 lead after 3. If they win today, they will join this trio of teams, Bobby, that have already punched their tickets to the Super Regionals next weekend. We whittle this field down from 64 to 16. By tomorrow night, of course, weather permitting. And so Florida State, Duke, and Coastal Carolina, they go 1-2-3. 3 games, 3 wins. They're moving on.
The interesting team on that list for me is Duke taking down Georgia in Athens. And can Duke finally break through and get to Omaha? They've been to several Super Regionals and failed. Can Chris Pollard and the Duke Blue Devils get to the World Series in 2025?
2, 3, and 4 for Creighton to start the top of the 4th against Gage Wood, who has been just about unhittable. 1 hit. He's only faced 10 hitters here through 3 innings and has punched out 6. Matt Sherman fouls that one away, so the count's a ball and 2 strikes. Bobby, Georgia lost in absolutely heartbreaking, just gut-wrenching fashion. They lost on a walk-off 2-run homer against Oklahoma State earlier today. So that is how the number 7 national seed got eliminated. That pitch is a called 3rd strike. 7 punch-outs now. Sherman didn't like it. Nolan Sailors bats next. What a start for Gage Wood.
It's a good slider right here. Just backs up. More of a hip slider. Acts like a fastball in. Very difficult to read. Comes back to the strike zone, hits the black. Great pitch.
What a start to this outing for Gage Wood in a game in which Arkansas can clinch the regional. They handed Creighton a loss yesterday. It wasn't close. It was 12-1. They got up early. They scored often. And they've got another large lead in the early innings. Now Nolan Sailors has been their premier hitter. Boy, look at Wood's reaction, by the way, to the last one. He's looking around the diamond going, I'll take it, fellas.
That's what happens sometimes when you release that on the arm side a little bit. You don't pull it down like that breaking ball right there. That could be a hanger in your mind, right?
Yeah.
But hey, it worked out fine for him.
Next level strikeout machine. 2-1 to Sailors is waved at and missed.
Again, that's why velocity is so important. The harder you throw, the less time you have to make a decision as a hitter. So you get away with some of that stuff. Velocity is important in the game of baseball.
Wood, another. Regionals coverage from all 16 sites. It continues tonight, tomorrow on ESPN Plus and the ESPN app. Visit ncaa.com for more information. I think he might be back at this ballpark next weekend. Arkansas got the upper hand.
Looking good. We talked about his whiff percentage rate. 44%. He's at 48%. 12 for 25 swings so far in this game. Almost 50%. every time they swing the bat.
Taking it up a notch here against the Big East champs. 1-0 pitch to Teddy Dieters is in for a strike. Well, he has almost struck out every hitter in the order at this point. Again, this is only the 13th batter he's faced. 8 strikeouts for Wood through nearly 4. And that's there.
Just as a reference, Fitzy, 40% is at the top of the pyramid nationally. 40% with anything 40% or more, you're an elite thrower in the game of baseball.
Just off the outside edge, Wood was starting to saunter back to the dugout. The Batesville, Arkansas native grew up 4 hours from Fayetteville, 3rd year at the program. It's gotten better and better. 2-2. That's tapped up the middle, and it's a base hit for Teddy Dieters. Just the 2nd hit of the evening for Creighton. So they got a runner on here in the 4th, down 6-0.
Perfectly placed through the middle of the field.
It's now
Savory, juicy, and hold up.
6 of 11 at the plate this weekend. They've got to find a way to string some hits together against Wood. Ed's service yesterday, he kept talking about the fact of you got to get that one. Sometimes just that one score seems simple, can spark some momentum. Now, on the other hand, they are on the wrong end of that 6-0 score, but one, you never know what happens after that first. 1-0 here is flicked foul.
Yeah, score runs and put up zeros. That will change the momentum. So far, Arkansas scoring in every inning of this baseball game. 2, 3, and 1 in 3 innings.
And so far, Creighton hasn't done either of those things.
No.
Will McLean is the senior from Exeter, New Hampshire. Wears that one on the right shoulder there, so now you got 2 on.
A little something brewing right here for Creighton. Breaking ball just gets away from Wood. Perfect technique, rolling, taking it off the back of his shoulder.
So good time for a mound visit here for Matt Hobbs, pitching coach.
Yeah, he does an outstanding job. Yeah, a little reset the mind visit. Breathe and reset. Get back into one pitch at a time. Lock back in, and you're one pitch away from getting out of this inning. See, sometimes you get ahead of yourself, try to think about 2 pitches or the last pitch or whatever. Got to focus in on one pitch, one execution at a time.
Ben North flew out to right in the 2nd inning. North smokes this one. Deep out to left, at the wall, goodbye! Creighton is on the board. A 3-run blast from Ben North.
'95 in, 107 out. Ben North ambushes this fastball from Wood right down the middle. And that's a 3-run jack for the Blue Jays, cutting the lead in half instantly with 2 outs.
Given the stakes, biggest hit of the weekend for a Creighton hitter. They were held to 1 run yesterday against Arkansas, were shut out deep into the game. And that is a significant one, even despite being down by 6 runs. That cuts the deficit in half. Connor Capisi now back at the plate. Fouled that first pitch off his foot.
Well, Coach Hobbs took a visit, wanted more strikes, throw it in there. He did. Got to tip your cap to North. He was ready, got the head out, and drove the ball.
Yeah, North, he has been one of the leaders for many years in Omaha. 3-year starter, and he gets it done. So if you're Creighton, for the first time in a little more than 13 innings now against Arkansas, maybe a little balance, belief here.
Yeah, it's a 3-run game here now in the 4th.
That's the 7th home run that Creighton has hit this weekend. 2 on Friday against Kansas. Remember, they hit 4 earlier against North Dakota State.
You're going to be asking for those fences, those walls to move in a little bit in Omaha at Schwab.
They want those dimensions. That breeze, it's that stiff wind that blows in from the outfield.
Yes.
Charles Schwab. So that'll retire the side. That's now a career high 9 strikeouts for Wood. But Creighton with a little bit of life here. Ben North goes yard at 6-3. BMO, this is how things are set up. Arkansas and Creighton here at the Fayetteville Regional. This is the first of maybe 2 regional final games. Arkansas has the 6-3 advantage. Creighton's got to beat the Hogs twice to advance. Meanwhile, over on the other side, this is how it lines up at the Knoxville Regional. We will have a Game 7 tomorrow between the Volunteers and the Demon Deacons after Wake Forest handed the national seed the loss earlier today. So they forced that Game 7. Justin Thomas leads off for the Hogs, faces Jimmy Burke. First full inning of work for the righty here in the 4th after Creighton's 3-run top half of the 4th.
Yeah, tip of the cap to Tom Walter and the Demon Deacons. Forcing a Monday against Tony Vitella and the Vols. Last year's national champions. It's going to be electric tomorrow night.
Yep, no doubt about it. Those are the 1 and 2 seeds in that regional. Meanwhile here, Arkansas is the number 3 overall seed in the field. Creighton was the 3 seed in this regional. The Big East champs. Thomas going the other way, deep out to right, and enough yard for Dieters. 1 gone. Also, Creighton pitchers have retired the leadoff hitter, ironically, in every inning, but they've also given up runs in every frame.
Been some 2-out big knocks by the Razorbacks.
All of the offense scoring on homers. 2-run blast for Maxwell. Thomas hit that massive 3-run shot in the 2nd, and then Helfrich smoked a solo shot an inning ago. So back to the top of the order. This is the all-conference outfielder Charles Davalon. He's been on base 6 times in 2 games in a bevy of ways. Couple hits, couple of walks, couple hit by pitches. And that one's a little low and away, so the count evens at a ball and a strike. You know, it's really simple, or it's probably obvious, but man, how big was that 3-run homer from Ben North in the top half of the 4th?
Huge statement right there, and even bigger will be if Creighton can put a 0 up in the bottom.
Rip! Yeah, to McLean at first. Nice pick.
Yeah, ball smoked at 98 miles per hour. If they can put a 0 up in the bottom of this inning after scoring 3, that would be huge. This ball's hit well. Nice backhanded snag right there by McLean. Look at that. Got the chest showing a little bit there with the buttons all the way down to his belly button.
Well, there's always
cool.
a great deal.
That's cool.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, style.
Oh, sure. Swag it out. Swag it out.
Speaking of that, here's Vahiva Aloy.
Oh, yeah. He looks the part for sure.
Swaggering shortstop. SEC Player of the Year. Takes the 0-1 down and away. There's always a great deal of anticipation. You can kind of feel it bubble up at this park.
He looks the part and he performs the part as well.
Freshman of the year 2 years ago in the WAC when he started at Sacramento State. And Dave Van Horn and the staff, they've been very vocal the last couple of years and candid about the fact when they saw his name pop up in the portal, they went after him very hard ahead of last season. His first year in Fayetteville a season ago, he was good. This year, he was elite. Maybe we'll talk to the head man about him.
Excited about that.
Yeah. We'll talk to Dave in the top half of the fifth. That is off the outer edge of the plate. Aloy checks. Home plate umpire says, yeah, that is ball 4.
Yeah, player development here at Arkansas, huge. Yeah, this pitch just misses. I mean, did we have a signal? Oh, there we go, 4. Okay, take your base.
You don't want to toss that bat prematurely. Got to go track it down.
Yeah, that would show up the umpire. That's a good call right there.
2-out base runner. Aloy takes off with the first pitch. Capisi throws the tag. Oh, Aloy is off the base anyway. They got him. So there is the 0 that Creighton was looking for. It's a scoreless bottom of the 4th. They're back at the plate. Jays fans have got a little life. Start of the 5th inning. Arkansas has got the 3-run advantage. And we've got Dave Van Horn with us now. 2+ decades wearing that Arkansas uniform. Coach, thanks again. Always good to talk with you here. It's an early advantage. Your team has looked good this week, and of course the primary focus is getting the job done today. I'd be very curious. You've talked at length this year about the attitude, the edge, the DNA of this team. Everybody focused on that one common goal to get to Omaha. How would you describe it this year and how it's driven this team?
Well, they just, first off, they really like each other, and they show up every day and they play hard, and you know, there's never been an issue with that all year, and it started in the fall. But, you know, we don't really talk about going to Omaha. We maybe discussed it a couple times in the fall, but that's their goal. So we got a lot of work to do.
Dave, Gage Wood, outstanding stuff, especially early in this game. Just one mistake so far. What's it look like from your vantage point?
Well, he's thrown the ball pretty good, and you know, it seems like he hasn't got this far in a game in a while, but the pitch count's pretty good. We're really going to keep an eye on him right now, and we'll have a couple guys ready to go if it doesn't work out.
Love the approach at the plate, especially early in this game, going backside off the sidearm. Was that your plan of attack?
Yeah, you know, with a guy like that, lefties, the ball's going to run from you. You got to go oppo, and right-handers, we'd like him to pull the ball a little bit if possible. But, you know, still have to hit it where it's pitched, but that's kind of where it was.
Coach, thanks for doing this. Good luck the rest of the weekend.
Okay, thanks a lot, guys.
See you,
Coach. Okay.
Arkansas would love to close it out today. They've got the upper hand. 2 wins, no losses. Remember, it's a double elimination format. Creighton lost yesterday in pretty convincing fashion, or Arkansas with the win over the Blue Jays convincingly. Leadoff hitter for Creighton is Dakota Duffalo, and he's now struck out twice against Gage Wood. New career high, 10 strikeouts through not yet 5 innings.
The vertical break on this pitch, 16.5 inches. Look at the depth. The pitch goes from the waist all the way to the ground. Devastating 12-6 spike curveball. I like what Coach Van Horn said, though, about the approach off Langro. He's a side armor, so your right-hand hitters want to pull the baseball off of a right-handed side armor. Your left-handed hitters go backside. A lot of people try to go backside on him all the time. Okay? You've got to pull a side armor if you're right-handed, and you've got to go backside if you're a left-hander. It's the opposite. And that's so much experience right there. Well said. Great approach by him and his hitting coach, Nate Thompson. Look at those whiff rate percentages.
Look at that. Just to get back to Wood. Kyle Hess flew out. This is Tate Gillen.
And you see that spike curveball at 44%, the fastball at 44%. That is at the upper echelon, world class in college baseball.
Kylie McDaniel, all the draft experts. They certainly don't think Gage Wood is going to make it out of the first round in this summer's draft. Already a fine start to his postseason. Now, he did give up the 3-run homer to Ben North, but this is 10 strikeouts through 4 2/3 innings against the Big East champs. Tate Gillen takes the 1-1 low.
You've heard me mention the term world class, his stuff world class. Major League Baseball teams pay millions and millions of dollars for world class stuff that Wood has. Multi-millions of dollars.
Three-one rolled to the right side. 5 strong innings, 10 strikeouts for Gage Wood. Bobby, we're halfway through.
This Friday.
Arkansas is seeking its first super regional appearance in 3 years. There have been some lousy luck, or just subpar outcomes, you could put it that way, the last 2 seasons at this park in this round. Let's just cut right to it. Arkansas has lost in the regionals the last 2 years. They got the upper hand here. Welcome to Baum-Walker Stadium, Fayetteville Regional. It's the regional final between Creighton and Arkansas. With Bobby Miranda, Kevin Fitzgerald with you. We're halfway through, and the number 3 national seed Arkansas has a 6-3 advantage. 3 homers for the Hogs today. And so a treat for everybody here as we get you started. We've got Ed Service, a longtime head coach of these Blue Jays. Coach, thanks for taking a moment to put the headset on and do this. How big was the response in the 4th inning and the at-bat for Ben North to cut that deficit in half an inning ago?
Well, it all happened with 2 outs. You know, Teddy Dieters got the hit with 2 outs, then Will McLean got hit, and then Ben, you know, he has a lot of potential. I'm not surprised. You know, he'll hit anybody's fastball, and it gave us a chance. You know, we cut the lead in half, like you mentioned. Now we got to throw some zeros up there, which is not going to be easy. So,
Ed, what is the pitching plan moving forward?
well, we're going to try. You know, Jimmy's a starter, so we can run him out there and until he runs out of gas, and then we still have a couple guys we haven't used. You know, so we're not going to ask too much of our pitchers here after Jimmy. Get us 2 or 3 outs. See if we can get to the 8th or 9th inning with a chance. You know, that's the plan, anyways.
Oh, Coach, we appreciate the time. Good luck.
You bet. Thank you, guys.
Creighton with the win earlier today against North Dakota State in order to vault itself to this regional final. This is 3 straight tournaments now that Creighton has played in a regional final. And here's the aforementioned Jimmy Burke. Right-hander tossed a scoreless bottom half of the 4th inning, so he's back out there here in the 5th. It was Garrett Langrel, their excellent closer, who started this game. Arkansas hit 3 homers off of him. The first was off the bat of Logan Maxwell. 1-1 pitch from the right-hander. That one falls down and away.
And a big 0 following that 3 spot in the bottom of the 4th. Flipping the momentum, cutting the score in half.
Yeah, that is critical. Nice pitch there. Maxwell comes up empty, because it looked like the start of this one was eerily similar to yesterday. Remember, Creighton and Arkansas won their Friday game, so they met yesterday, and it was a convincing Hogs win. 2-2 is a little tight. So that sent Creighton to the elimination game earlier today. That is the difficult climb and task for a team like Creighton. Had to win earlier just to reach the final. And now you got to turn around and beat Arkansas twice. Oh, this one is mashed. Maxwell hits it hard. No chance for the center fielder, Gillen. It's a 2-homer day for Maxwell. Maxwell.
This pitch is up in the strike zone, elevated and blasted out of here at 104 off the barrel, 422 feet. Wow.
Maxwell now has 11. This is Ryder Helfrich, who has gone deep 3 times this weekend. You saw the home run tracker. Arkansas has hit 10 homers in 2.5 games this weekend.
My goodness. They can slug with anyone.
Top 5 in the nation entering tonight in homers. Their reputation as one of the more prolific and explosive offenses in the nation is widely known at this point. It's the power, but they're just a really well-rounded offense as well. High on base percentage. The OPS is off the charts.
Yeah, baseball's all about earning slug, OPS, and preventing slug and OPS.
Well, you've talked about how hot Helfrich is, hitting close to 500 his last 10 games. That's the sophomore from Discovery Bay, California, not far from Sacramento. He has thrived after taking over as the everyday catcher ahead of this season.
Been so impressed with this young man. Super athletic. Fast twitch all over that body. Hand cannon for an arm. Great receiver, great feet. Can really run. Dropped a push bunt in game 1 of this tournament. A complete player.
Yeah, stole a base as well on Friday. So Arkansas, they beat North Dakota State in that opener. Dominant win yesterday. 3-2, this is hammered. It's got some carry to it. Gillen and Sailors, they can let out a sigh of relief. So 1 away in this 5th inning. Arkansas has extended its lead. This was a couple of moments ago, the Maxwell blast.
That ball's up in the strike zone at 87, and Maxwell takes it almost dead center. 422 feet. Just a great approach. TTM through the middle of the field. So he has a home run through the middle of the field and backside today.
It's been quite a weekend for Maxwell. Cam Kojal trying to drop one down in surprise fashion there. It does roll foul. You know, we have heard, and a lot of folks who cover this team, the message has been really clear all season. Look at this. 4 hitters, by the way.
Wow.
With 2 homer weekends. This one is foul down the line. The camaraderie and the chemistry in that clubhouse seems to be right this year. We talked to a number of players a couple of days ago. Positive reinforcement. It's kind of a check the ego at the door sort of mentality with this team. The main goal and the drive is we got to get back to Omaha.
That's right.
And we have seen that all weekend.
And Dave Van Horn loves this club. They want to play. They want to be here. They want to be together as long as possible. Make a run to Omaha and a run for the national championship.
You know, and Bobby, that's, you know, sometimes that's not the case when you have a whole lot of next level players that are going to hear their names called in what, number of weeks now.
A lot of noise can
kind
of mess with the process, and these guys have dealt with that. They've done an excellent job of making the main thing, and that's getting back to Omaha and potentially breaking through for the first ever national championship.
That conversation, it really has swirled around this program all year. Is it their time? You see the 11 Omaha appearances. 2018, they were right there on the precipice. National runners up to Oregon State. Yeah, that road to Omaha. It's not the it's not just an easy highway drive. There's some twists and turns, bumps. You've done it. You've been there.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy to get there.
1-2 to Kojal, and he rips that one foul. So he's fouled off a number of pitches here from Jimmy Burke, keeping the at-bat going.
Everyone thinks it's all about talent to get to Omaha. It's not all about talent. It's the makeup of the team. It's about the people. You have to have talent. You have to recruit great athletes, but it's more about recruiting the great person with the athlete.
Kojal lifts it out to left. Sailors near the wall. Sailors reaches, makes the catch. Nolan Sailors. We saw him nearly rob a home run yesterday against Arkansas. Today he does it. This kid is excellent for Creighton.
That guy can play the game, both sides of the ball, and I love how he played this. Watch him get to the wall, then jump for the ball.
Oh.
But he gets to the wall. That's the key. He knew where he was at, got to the wall, and then jumped. Took away potentially a home run there. That was nice.
And Burke
Burke loved
out
it.
The roar. Bobby, that was really athletic. It was yesterday against Creighton, or pardon me, against Arkansas, where he nearly took a home run back. He got a glove on a very similar looking fly ball that left the yard yesterday. Today he finally does it. And so with 2 outs, this is Kuhio Aloy. Again, 1 run in for the Hogs. They got the 7-3 advantage. Aloy hitless today. It's the sophomore from Maui. You know, Burke knows the significance of that one. Yes, he allowed the homer, but just trying to get out of this with only 1 run damage.
And I love the poise that Sailors plays with. He just very poised, calmly went over to the wall, made the play. Same way at the bat, in the box.
Aloy rolls it to the left side. Sherman, long throw here, lets it rip, and the inning is over. Arkansas does hit its 4th homer of the night. Done with 5 at 7-3 in the regional final. Gage Wood, Bobby, the elite strike thrower from Batesville, Arkansas. You want to count them up? 1, 2, 3. Well, we don't have to count. 10 strikeouts, 10 for the next level right-hander today in 5 innings against the Blue Jays.
Filthy, filthy, next level, elite stuff, and strike thrower. That's what I like about it. Not only is it 97 with a hammer, it's also in the strike zone. And that's how you get paid a lot of money someday.
Yesterday was Zach Root. He's been the Friday night headline starter who struck out 7 in 6 scoreless innings. And Gage Wood has followed it up. First pitch swinging, that's a rip foul down the line. Matt Sherman leads off for Creighton here. 2, 3, and 4 in the order for the Blue Jays in what could be the clincher for Arkansas. The Hogs have a 7-3 lead. The only mistake that Wood has made, or the only blemish if you want to call it that, the 3-run homer that Ben North ripped over the left field wall. That's how Creighton has got his offense. Counts quickly 0-2. So if Wood records it out here, it'll be a season-long outing. It's a career-high number of pitches already, so he has really been stretched out. This will be the 80th pitch of the evening. Check swing, he did go. That's an easy one. 11 strikeouts.
Wow, 11 strikeouts in 5 1/3. That's a chase down. That's a really good breaking ball.
10,000. Bobby, go ahead.
I was going to say 16th swing and miss already in this baseball game.
Strikeout rate is top 5 in the SEC. Misses away to Nolan Sailors, who made that great home run robbing catch in the top half or make it the bottom of the 5th. There's 10,000 in this ballpark, just like there normally is. Can you imagine the ovation Wood's going to get here when he ultimately does come out, if he gets lifted in the middle of an inning? That's at the letters for a strike. It's been a fun weekend in Fayetteville, especially for the Hogs fans. It's been a party here all weekend. 1-1 coming. Big swing. Sailors comes up empty.
Yeah, this place is a party, especially when the Hogs are playing this well. They pack this place in, and it is electric.
1-2 on the way. Sailors gets a piece of it, tops it behind the plate. Wood is the former reliever, turns now next level starter. The secret's out. He's on everybody's draft board. He continues to climb. Very much a high draft pick. You would think first rounder this summer. 1-2, that falls through the zone.
And finally healthy. Had a little shoulder issue early in the season, and now healthy, looking locked in. I'm very happy for this young man. He's feeling it tonight.
Sailors 1 for 2 against Wood today. Senior from Omaha. Here it comes. Good battle. It was the second start of the year for Wood. Bobby earlier this season when he got hurt, missed nearly 2 months. Think Matt Hobbs is liking the stuff tonight, his pitching coach?
Yes, and he's done a great job with Gage Wood.
Swing and a miss. It is a dozen strikeouts for Gage Wood in a game that could vault the Hogs to a super regional. 2 away in the 6th.
That pitch is up and in. It's on the L. We draw a big L close to the body of the hitter, and then take that big L and run it down and away. That one's up and in on the L. A well-executed pitch. Matt Hobbs loving it. When you're working with pitchers, you're teaching to throw in that spot exactly. Very difficult to hit.
Fools Teddy Dieters that time. You know, Arkansas had a pretty good one last year in Hagen Smith. This combo of Zach Root and Gage Wood. You wonder just how far it can carry them this postseason.
Yeah, that is an awesome 1-2 punch for the Razorbacks.
Well, the question is for Creighton, can they get back into this game quickly? Down 4. It's a much closer game than it was at this point a night ago. That's just a brutal breaking pitch. Fools Dieters. Remember, a 12-1 victory for Arkansas over the Big East champs yesterday.
That's a breaking ball, a jelly legger. Just makes your legs like jelly when you stride. You're like, oh.
What an evening for Gage Wood. Strikes out the side of the 6th.
He's fired up. This is a 84 miles per hour. Gage Wood is pumped up here in Fayetteville.
West Virginia knocks out Kentucky in the regional final, and so the Mountaineers, they win in the Clemson regional, so they are moving on. Look at that list. We got a couple of national seeds and then a couple of non-national seeds there. It's been a wild day around the nation.
Back-to-back super regionals for West Virginia.
It's impressive. Big 12 champs, finished first in the league. So here we go in the bottom half of the 6th. 7, 8, and 9 due up for the Razorbacks. Iredale, Robinette, and Thomas. Collectively, that trio has reached base 4 times today. Iredale has been hit, and he also walked. Gage Wood has been a supernova tonight on the mound. 13 strikeouts in 6 innings. Gave up the 3-run homer, and that's it. Iredale takes that for a strike. This is Jimmy Burke, who has only given up the 1 run in 2 1/3 innings. The Big East champs They need some scoreless bottom half of innings here if they want to get back into this game. Remember, they had a fantastic season. They were consistently strong all year. Finished atop the Big East. They were the #1 seed in the tournament, beat UConn in the title game last weekend, and that's how they punched their ticket to the regional. So Iredale is aboard, though, to start this 6th inning. Hey, we're running out of chances here to remind you to scan the QR code. That'll take you to Squeeze Play, which is the around-the-clock multi-game coverage of all the most exciting and tensest moments in this regional round. Chris Budden, Matt Schick, Chris Burke, and Mike Rooney, they've got you covered in the studio. Boy, it has been a fascinating Sunday of this regional weekend. Robinette squares to bunt. That's off the plate. Pitcher Burke has got it. Throws in time. Boy, Burke nearly did a split. They get the out. Iredale into scoring position.
That was a difficult play.
Yeah.
You work on that in the fall every single day with your pitching staff. And Burke did a great job. Lost a little bit of his footing right there with his right foot. See it right there? Just slips. Still makes a strong throw. A lot of people try to take that extra step with your right foot. You don't have time for that. You just got to get it, plant the right foot in the ground, get rid of the baseball, throwing a down angle to first base. That was well executed and well coached by the Creighton staff.
Service has used Burke to start some games this year, almost 50 innings now on the season. So the key for him is to pitch as deep as he can here without giving up too much damage. He allowed the solo homer in the 5th, but that's all. 1 out, 1 on. Justin Thomas back at the plate. Rips it. That's into the seats, foul. So Thomas is seeing it well tonight.
We talk about Arkansas and their power. They're a complete team. We've seen the bunting game as well from the Razorbacks. They'll bunt and they'll hit bombs. That's offense.
Yeah.
Hitting is hitting, like hitting the ball hard, but there's a thing called offense. And that's a complete game. It's 2-strike hitting. It's hitting the ball through the middle of the field to the backside. It's bunting. It's running. That's offense. That's not just hitting. Oh, I hit the ball hard 100 miles an hour. No, no, no. You got to have offense. It's a team game. And Coach Van Horn does a great job with that.
Well-rounded offensive attack.
I'm going to tip the cap to Nate Thompson, hitting coach for the Razorbacks as well. Long-time hitting coach. Does an outstanding job with this offense.
3-1 to Thomas. Hits it very hard, but right to Hess at second. So 2 gone. Iredale is now over at third. Top 20 offense, Bobby, across the board in every major category. Slug, on base percentage, the walks, batting average, OPS.
You watch a lot of programs, they're one-dimensional. If that one dimension gets defended, they're done. So if you have a lot of options, you can win in a lot of different ways. And that's just smart coaching, smart recruiting. And that's how you potentially win a national championship.
That's Gackle milling about, by the way, in the Arkansas bullpen. We saw Gage Wood finish up with 6 innings, 13 strikeouts. This is a hard hit ball. Charles Davalon sends it deep off the top of the fence. Iredale scores easily. Davalon digging for 3. Relay throw cut off. It's late. RBI triple for the Canadian.
This is almost deja vu of Maxwell's home run. 87-mile-per-hour fastball hit almost to the exact same spot that bounces off the top of the wall. 104 off the barrel. Davalon gets the third with ease.
I think they've displayed that well-rounded offense this inning specifically.
Yeah, they can do a lot of damage in a lot of different ways. This guy especially, part of that.
Look who Burke has to deal with again, Vahiva Aloy. The breakout star in the SEC. Again, he was great last year. This season, he was elite. SEC Player of the Year, 20 home runs now. Turned into a much sharper and more reliable defensive shortstop. And turned in this career season. That's off the outer edge of the plate. Counts a ball and 2 strikes. So Arkansas's lead is now back to 5. And Kylie McDaniel, yeah, he's got him as a pretty high prospect. You'll hear his name called in a few weeks. 1-2. That's ripped on a line out to center. Gillen's got it lined up. So Arkansas adds another 8-3 lead. Trying to get to a super regional tonight in Fayetteville.
Right here on Squeeze Play Live. If there are home runs or big plays, you will not miss.
Let's lose our minds.
Well, that's one way to get the party started.
That's a bad flip. Get used to that this weekend. This is your one-stop shop for everything Road to Omaha.
Squeeze Play, they're going deep into the night once again on ESPN Plus, taking you to all the best action from around this regional weekend. Bobby, what a night for Gage Wood.
How about 43 total swings, 21 swing and misses, 49%, almost 50% of the pitches he threw were swung, nothing, just air.
Yeah.
50%.
Yep. Career high 13 strikeouts in 6 innings. Now this is Gabe Gackle, the sophomore from California. 16th appearance. Started a number of games for Arkansas this year. Hasn't pitched this weekend, so he's fresh and ready to go.
Huge arm up to 97. Keep an eye out for the slider. Nasty, nasty slider.
On a regional weekend where national seeds, they've been dropping like flies. Arkansas is now in the late innings here with a 5-run lead. They've got the upper hand after having beaten Creighton yesterday in that Saturday battle. So the Hogs, they win tonight. They wrap it up. They go to the Super Regionals for the first time in 3 years. Will McLean offered it that one, so the count's a ball and a strike.
And there it is at 88 miles per hour, spinning at 2,600 RPM. Major League average 24.5, 2,500. Top of the line spin right there.
Nine starts this year for Gackle. You saw the 69 strikeouts in 57 1/3 innings. His last outing was in the SEC tournament, that one game, that quarterfinal loss to Ole Miss. Now he was great, pitched 3 scoreless innings, struck out 4. And he retires McLean, 1 out to start the 7th.
97 up.
The Tooth Fairy's bringing an Arkansas win, baby.
Having a good time. The Tooth Fairy for sure. What, do you get money under your pillow tonight? Still doing that?
I usually
20-25?
I think I got $1 or 2. What's the what's inflation up to? They getting $5 these days?
Like
Maybe
20
10
spot.
Like just a you know, nice Benjamin underneath there.
Sure.
Is this one playable? Maybe. Nope, that one is off the netting. So Ben North, who went yard in the 4th inning.
I'll be her agent, petitioning for a 20 spot tonight under her pillow.
What commission you taking off of that?
I think I'll take my 3%.
Take 3. Well, that's only 30. What's that? 3%.
Mike,
10% would be
our stat guru up here in the booth.
Might only be about 60 cents, I think.
Oh,
Quick
wow.
math.
I gotta have more than that.
That's going to barely get you one scoop at Andy's down the
Yes.
road. Might get you a few sprinkles. I don't know. 0-1 is in tight.
Gosh, this is a real arm right here. 97 in. That's not even his best pitch. His best pitch is his slider. See it?
There it is. 2 strikes now on Ben North, redshirt junior from Woodbury, Minnesota.
The only chance you have on that pitch, it has to look like a ball up, and then it'll come down in the zone. If it's a strike coming out of the hand.
Wow. Back-to-back strikeouts now for Gackle.
It's impossible to hit.
That is 5 straight Creighton batters that have gone down on strikes. And Bobby, officially every Blue Jay hitter has struck out.
Wow. It's real stuff. Count them up. My goodness.
They're running out of room. By the way, look, in the background, you got the horns down. So, Bobby, the #2 national seed in the field. Here's the latest
the number
news.
1.
Yep. Has been eliminated. The Texas Longhorns just lost to UTSA. And so the list of national seeds eliminated grows. So, Bobby, right now, as everything is shaken out, if Arkansas advances tonight, they got the 5-run lead in the late innings. They would be the highest seed left in the field. The number 3 overall national seed. 3 up, 3 down. Great inning of work for Gabe Gackle.
OPS that you earn offensively and the OPS that you defend defensively. The last 2 national champions, LSU and Tennessee, led the SEC in this metric. Arkansas this year in 2025 led the SEC versus SEC competition. Is something brewing right here? I'm just saying. Just saying. The highest seed is left. Texas is out. The 1 is out.
Vanderbilt,
yeah. That OPS is looking pretty good for Arkansas to make a run all the way to the championship and possibly win it.
Seems like we've found the common denominator. Meanwhile, in the bottom of the 7th inning, new pitcher out there for Creighton. The Blue Jays are running out of time. Bobby, they're down now 8-3. Noah Klein is out of the bullpen. He's been a very reliable reliever. Deep in this regional final game.
Yeah, Noah Klein, 84-89. A lot of fastball usage. Over 60% of the time will use a fastball, throws a slider and a change, 3-pitch mix.
Faces the heart of that Hogs order, which has quite simply been one of the most complete and explosive offenses in the nation. Logan Maxwell has gone deep twice today. 2 for 3 at the plate. He's driven in 3 runs. Now Klein replaces Jimmy Burke, who came out of the bullpen in the 3rd inning. Bobby, Burke was pretty good, relatively speaking. Only gave up 2 runs in 3 1/3. So Arkansas is ahead, but it hasn't quite yet busted it entirely open. The problem is time is not on Creighton's side. They've got 6 outs to work with. If they want to force a Game 7 tomorrow in Fayetteville. Hogs have the upper hand. They win tonight. They're going to the Supers. Here's a 1-2. That one's a little low and away.
Maxwell is a complete hitter. Love his approach through the middle of the field to the backside with power. Well-rounded approach.
First year in the Hog uniform, and Maxwell, well, he's been really productive. Right there, he goes down on strikes. That is just the 3rd Arkansas hitter to strike out today. Ryder Helfrich bats next.
Gave him the juice, the jinx from the booth right there. He's been locked in.
No, there is no such thing. No jinxes, no announcer jinx. It's all phony. It's all made up.
That's a really good hitter right there going down.
I'm trying to convince myself, too, on that. 2-homer day yesterday for Helfrich. And so now with the blast today, he's 6 for 10 at the plate. He's walked, he's drawn several walks, he's been hit a couple of times. It's just nowhere to hide when you face this Hogs offense. Check swing, that's back to the pitcher. So 2 quick outs here for Noah Klein.
Showing a nice sweeper slider so far in this appearance.
Sophomore from Wilmette, Illinois.
Chi-Town kid.
Yeah, didn't play too much last year, but has ascended into a very reliable reliever role this year for the Big East champs.
From the north side, definitely a Cubs fan up there for sure.
Oh yeah, there it is. He's a Cubs fan, according to his bio.
Oh really?
page.
I just took a guess.
Loyola
on that
Academy guy.
one. Oh yeah.
First pitch to the lefty, Cam Kojal. That's there for a strike. So he's a Cubs fan. Okay, you can guess his all-time favorite player.
Ryan Sandberg.
No, go outside of baseball, Chicago. That's a little low.
Walter Payton. Bears, Michael Jordan.
Bingo.
Boom! The GOAT. Should have known that one. Being
No,
from
you overthought
Chi-Town.
it.
I did overthink it. I was thinking baseball.
1-1 coming. That is stung into center. Gillen has got this one tracked. That's a great inning for Klein. The Creighton bats have got to get going. 6 outs to work with in Fayetteville. The NCAA Baseball Regionals are presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Start of the 8th inning. Fayetteville Regional Final. I think the brisket is all done.
It's in the tummy. Satisfied.
The hog pen. That is one of the most electric seating sections, really in any park around the SEC. First come, first serve. You have folks line up outside of Bob Walker Stadium. They run in there to put that chair down right up against the railing. And Bobby, they might be playing baseball here next weekend. Arkansas in the driver's seat, won their first 2 games of this double elimination regional round. Creighton lost yesterday. So that means the Hogs, they win this one. They are advancing to the Super Regionals, where they would officially be the highest seed. They right now are the highest seeded national seed left in the field. Kendall Diggs, by the way, comes into play right. Dakota Duffalo takes that pitch a little low. The count's a ball and 2 strikes. Gabe Gackel was great in his first inning. Went 1-2-3 in the 7th. And the Blue Jays, they don't have a hit since that 3-run homer in the 4th. Matter of fact, nobody's reached base.
Yeah, need to get something going here. Running out of outs.
That's foul.
Running out of time.
Only 6 outs to work with. Now, this is a lot closer of a game compared to yesterday. This time last night, Creighton was getting shut out. It was 12-0. They scratched across a late run in that overwhelming defeat at the hands of these Hogs. Swing and a miss. Another batter goes down on strikes. 16 Arkansas punch-outs combined between Wood and Gackel today. We got one last chance here to remind you that these regionals, the coverage from all 16 sites, it continues tonight and tomorrow on ESPN Plus, also the app. Visit ncaa.com for more information. Bobby, you've talked about the parity across the nation and in this tournament all weekend. Texas, the latest national seed to be eliminated. So 5 have been eliminated from the field, 5 of 16. Arkansas just underscores the significance here. Sometimes it's not easy to just go 1-2-3 in this regional round. Arkansas is in position to do so. This is Kyle Hess, the number 9 hitter.
Yeah, and this tournament's showing unprecedented parity.
Yes.
nationwide. Number 1 and number 2 seeds going down. To emphasize that point.
Arkansas very much with momentum here. Again, Creighton, the last 11 Creighton hitters have been retired. That stretches back to the 4th. So they got to get something cooking here. That said, from the Arkansas standpoint, things are setting up pretty nicely here for the Hogs. There's another punch out. 17 now.
And that's a changeup at 89. Because you're throwing 97 miles per hour. Takes a little off, runs it to the arm side. Man, filthy, filthy stuff. Coach Hobbs loving what he's seen tonight.
Arkansas's 4 outs away. Tate Gillen takes that one away. And then we got what's pertinent here for perhaps Hogs fans. The regional final at Game 7 tomorrow featuring Tennessee and Wake Forest. The winner of that one would potentially play Arkansas if they get the job done. That would be next weekend, and it would be here. That's how things are shaking out.
Can you imagine Tennessee rolling in here for a super regional? The atmosphere at this place next weekend.
Remember, the Hogs beat them 2 out of 3 to close out the season. Final regular season series right
Correct.
Here. That scorched foul.
Don't cut out my Demon Deacons, though. Coach Walter knows what he's doing. In Omaha just a couple years ago, made a run, finished 3rd in the nation.
Gackle is locked in. Here's his 1-2. Swing and a miss. It is 18 Arkansas strikeouts. Gage Wood, the junior from Batesville, Arkansas, who has been unhittable at times this year. Bobby struck out 13 hitters in 6 innings in a massive regional final start.
Best stuff I've seen in several years.
Wow.
He has an old school mentality, filling it up at a high level with top of the pyramid stuff. Elite stuff.
Look at that, those 13 strikeouts, most by an Arkansas pitcher in the postseason in 8 years.
See, a lot of days you see guys, they max effort, they just throw and they're behind in the count, they're not pitching. He's pitching at 97 miles an hour.
Kohio Aloy looking for a leadoff single here in the bottom half of the 8th inning, and he gets it. First hit of the evening for the Hawaiian sophomore, Noah Klein, after a scoreless 1-2-3-7, gives up the base hit. Arkansas is in command, and it's 3 outs away from advancing to the Super Regionals next weekend for the first time in 3 years. Felt like this regional round they were perhaps cursed the last couple of seasons. They were a top 5 national seed each of the last 2 years, only to lose in this regional round 23 and 24. Now Dave Van Horn, he has been candid throughout the year, said to us a few days ago, look, this team this season is not just stronger, we're more well-rounded, we're balanced. This complete team is 3 outs away from just a 3-0 sweep here in the regional. Hard bouncer to Ben North. The shortstop flips to second for 1 and on to first. They double up Iredale. So 2 quick outs, and Reese Robinette to bat next year with 2 outs. Well, as we're finishing up this one here, you would think in Fayetteville, scan that QR code. It's going to take you to squeeze play. There's still some very entertaining finishes going on across the nation. You want a quad box?
I do. I like the quad box.
You got it right there. Scan the QR code.
I also like seeing what color tie Runes is wearing that matches his socks. I'm into that every day.
Does the pocket square, we go in pocket square as
no
well?
No pocket
match
square.
it?
I didn't
No?
see it last night. Green tie, though. Went Notre Dame green for the Notre Dame grad.
Mike Rooney, Chris Burke, Chris Budden, Matt Schick, they have had everybody covered all weekend long. And, Bobby, we've got some Game 7s that are lining up for tomorrow. Win or go home. Everything on the line, Game 7s tomorrow night. We just talked about the one from last inning, Tennessee and Wake Forest. If Arkansas closes this one out, it would face the winner of that game tomorrow, next weekend right here in a best-of-3 series to get to Omaha. Good luck playing in front of this 10,000 strong.
They are feeling it right now. 3 outs away from moving on.
They're engaged, they're loud, they're savvy.
They love their
2-2.
hogs.
That was close, little low and away.
They love their hogs. Been calling them out all weekend.
That's what they do around here.
Yes, they do.
Quite simply one of the better teams in the nation all year, unequivocally. Remember, they rose to #1 in the nation very briefly. Series sweeps against Vanderbilt and Texas. Won most of their SEC series. They won 20 games again. They keep doing that. This is 3 straight years they've won 20 SEC games. Became just the second ever SEC program to do that 3 years in a row. Payoff is low, so that's a 2-out walk for Robinette. Yeah, Bobby, consistent.
Consistent.
That's the key word.
That's the word. And that's all leadership. Coach Van Horn and his staff and recruiting. Their staff has done a tremendous job recruiting out of high school and hitting the portal and bringing in what we talked about, the right people to do the job here in Fayetteville.
Yeah, you hear coaches mention how they want high character guys. Sometimes they want that. You don't always hit all the time on that. I think this staff did with this group. Justin Thomas rolls it to the left side. Sherman breaks. So Creighton's got 3 outs here. On the flip side, Arkansas is 1 step away from it getting back to the Super Regionals. Arkansas last went to the Super Regionals 3 years ago. That was that spirited run to the College World Series semifinals. And tonight, at Bob Walker Stadium, they're now 3 outs away from joining this group of teams. We've got 5 squads that have advanced to the Super Regionals. The latest, UTSA, Texas San Antonio. Bobby, they're going to their first ever Super Regional. They went 3-0. These are their first ever tournament wins.
College baseball awesomeness. That's all I can say.
I mean, it has been a fascinating, entertaining, wild weekend. We have seen some interesting outcomes.
The parity. The
Yep.
parity is noticeable. Glares you in the face.
Start of the 9th, Gabe Gackel. He has retired all 6 hitters that he has faced since he came out of the pen and relieved Gage Wood in the 7th. Faces 2, 3, and 4 in this Creighton order. These are the veterans. Matt Sherman, Nolan Sailors, Teddy Dieters. Guys that have been with this program for many years. 0-2 pitch to Sherman. That runs a little outside. The Blue Jays, Bobby, the Big East champs. Undisputed, won the regular season title, #1 seed in the Big East tournament last week outside of Cincinnati, and they swept the field, won their 3 games, won 43 games. A really strong year, but it might be coming to an end.
Trending that way for sure.
And what a ride it was. And it has been for Creighton. You know, they failed to make the Big East tournament last year. For a lot of these starters, it fueled them to break through. At the end of last season, right there, the head man, Ed Service, he announced his retirement, said 25 is going to be my last ride. That Big East championship, he told us, was very special. What a run it's been for this veteran group. Did they have one last rally here in the 9th inning?
That man, what a career.
22
Integrity.
years,
yes,
as the head coach in Omaha.
Passion for the game. He's done a lot for college baseball over the years. 41 seasons as a college baseball coach.
Winningest coach in school history, was the Big East Coach of the Year at the end of this season. And is this his last game? Nolan Sailors, one of his tone setters, behind in the count 1-2. Sailors, 250 hits in his career. This might be his last moment in a Creighton uniform. He has been their premier hitter and leader. 1-2 from Gackel. Little low.
Quality take. Just a bit down.
What an impactful career for Sailors. The Omaha man who grew up watching games as a kid at Rosenblatt. 2-2. He's worked the count full. Bobby, he's been really impressive at the plate this weekend. They've got just 2 outs, though, to work with. Gackel coming home. Check swing. It's in there. A cold third strike. And Arkansas is 1 out away. That's a lot of strikeouts.
Look at all those Ks.
19. It's a season high and the most in a tournament game in more than 20 years for Arkansas. Most in any regional game this weekend or across the country. 19 for Wood and Gackel. Teddy Dieters takes that one in the dirt. The number 3 national seed. One of the best teams in America all season long. Balanced offense, deep pitching staff. Exquisite swing and miss stuff today.
Filthy. 89-mile-per-hour slider.
Phones are out. Everybody wants to capture that final out. That's hit up the middle. Base hit for Teddy Dieters. So a 2-hit day for the Orono, Minnesota native, and he keeps the game going.
Great swing through the middle of the field right there. That's a real breaking ball at 2,800 RPM. He rifles it through the middle of the field. 106 miles an hour.
He smoked that one.
Smoked it.
So Matt Hobbs is going to go out to the mound here just to settle everybody down. Arkansas needs the 1 out to advance to the Super Regional. Again, right now, they are the highest national seed left in the field. Number 1 in the field, gone. Number 2, erased. Vanderbilt and Texas eliminated. Yeah, got a couple of relievers here. They are up. Gackel's going to face Will McLean. Everybody standing at Baum-Walker Stadium. The last couple of years, just some haunting setbacks for this program. in this regional round. Eliminated in the opening weekend, consecutive seasons, and at their home ballpark, no less. This year, a little different. And Arkansas is set up here to go 3 for 3, sweep the field and get to the supers. And you see the uneasiness on a lot of the faces of the Creighton players. Down to their final out. Here's a 1-1. Bounce to the right side, and it's through the hole. A base hit. Dieters, round second, gets to third easily. Couple of singles back-to-back now for the Blue Jays.
Both off breaking balls. That's his best pitch. An 86-mile-per-hour breaking ball down in the strike zone. Hit perfectly in the 4-hole. Still 1 out away. 1 pitch away from a regional championship.
Yeah, base runners, if you're Gackle, they don't mean anything. You just got to get the hitter here. Ben North had the biggest hit of the day for Creighton. The 3-run shot in the 4th. Attacks the first pitch and tops it foul. And that was where the Blue Jays got their only bit of offense.
Goes right back to the breaking ball after giving up 2 hits with it.
Strike 2.
95 at the top of the zone. 4-seamer. A lot of life up there. A lot of ride and carry. Tough to hit.
Wave it a miss. Strike 3, and the game is over. Fittingly, it's the punch out that sends Arkansas back to the Super Regionals. Its first Super in 3 years. Arkansas, a winner in Fayetteville.
Dave Van Horn and the Arkansas Razorbacks, in my opinion, primed and ready to take that next step. It is their time, in my opinion, to win a national championship in 2025. I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, just a regional, but this is a complete team. Both sides of the ball, offense, defense, pitching, base running, 2-strike hitting, bunting, power into the stands, power arms, well coached. Dave Van Horn has put together a beautiful baseball team in 2025.
And they'll await the winner of that Game 7 tomorrow night. It'll either be Tennessee or Wake Forest that will be here next weekend for the best of 3 Super Regional. The Hogs, one of the best teams in the nation all year, moving on to the Super Regionals with an 8-3 win over Creighton. What a pitching performance. 20 strikeouts combined for Wood and Gackle. And the punch-out closes the door. That's all for us in Fayetteville. For Bobby Miranda and the crew, I'm Kevin Fitzgerald. Good night from Fayetteville.